Hello and welcome back. Today's video is about a project I started in my hometown city of Exeter, Exeter by Night. This was a project involving going around locations, landmarks in Exeter, old historic buildings and locations, as well as some slightly more modern. And shooting them from blue hour onwards into the night. This then progressed into me producing a calendar for 2018. What I'm going to do is take you on a small tour of about half a dozen or so of the locations, perhaps take a photo from the day. My tour is going to be around daytime and early evening, and we'll visit locations, give you a little bit of history, and then also show you the nighttime shot, which is going to be appearing in the calendar. Anyway, so I hope you're going to enjoy this little tour around some of the historic locations of Exeter. Let's get started. Before we start, I've got to give a big shout out to local composer, musician, pianist Finn Talisker, who was kind enough to do the music for this video, which I'm sure you're going to agree is fantastic. All of his links are going to be down below in the description, so please go over and show him some love. And if you're working on a project that you'd like Finn involved with, please get in touch with him. Right, let's go. I'm looking down over Exeter Quay from a road called Colleton Crescent. I'm here at sunset now, and look behind me. The clouds are lighting up quite nicely, and I've got my 6-stop on, so I've just done an F11 and F16, which has given me 25 seconds. I've got the 2-second timer on, actually 20 seconds, so I'll just swing you around so you can actually have a look at it, see how nice it is. So again, this is another location that looks down on the River Exe. Beautiful spot. There's a couple more on the calendar which are close proximity to here, which I'm going to visit. So, colours going from the sky, so I'll see you at the next location. Right, I've come down onto the quay, where my first port of call was the old customs house, which I'm now sat in front of. I'll take you over to where I took the photo from in a minute, but I don't think I'm going to take a photo today from the location, because when I spin you around in a minute you'll see that there's building work type barriers there, so I'll just spin you around. So I don't really want to take a photo from this location today, because I would just have to clone out the barriers there anyway. But I'll walk you over to where I took the shot from. Right, so this is where I took my shot from, which you'll see in a second. As you can probably see, we've got the barriers there, so no point in taking a shot from here today. It's a building that's steeped in history again. Lots of historical buildings in Exeter, which I will give you a little bit of its history this end. The building dates from 1680 to 1681. It's thought to be the oldest brick building still surviving in Exeter. HM Customs and Excise used it until 1989 to monitor goods imported to the quay for customs duty. Today it's a visitor centre and the meeting point for the Exeter Redcoat guided tours. Right, I'm just walking over to my next location, so I'm just having to walk over River X here to get to it. It's only a 3 or 4 minute walk from where I was just now, well, about 5 probably, so I'll be over there in a minute. If you look up over behind my shoulder, top of the wall, the grass area at the top, that's where I was looking down and got the photo looking down over the quay, River X. So a lovely outlook down over the river. Okay, I've reached my next location and it's rather busy here. Quite a bit going on. I'm going to go over and set up for a shot in a second, but as you can see over here, lots going on. Group of youngsters, I think it looks like they're going to be building rafts in a minute. They got barrels and logs and that, so it looks like a team raft building exercise. We've all been there, so I'm just going to set my camera up and move over to where I need to be, and I'll see you over there. Right, I'm at the location where I got my shot, but it is so busy, so much going on the water. If I just look over here, so we got kayakers, rowers, canoes, ducks, all sorts going on here. So I got a shot, I think, just now with the polarizer on when I don't think anyone was about, and possibly one with the 10 stop on, which was a 25-second exposure, I think, and when there was possibly just one kayaker on there, and they were moving, so hopefully moving enough that they were not in my shot. But it's looking like I'm not going to be able to get another shot now. Look, we got the rowers warming up behind me, we've got the raft builders behind me there, and like I say, loads of people on the water kayaking there. But this is the Exeter Canal basin. It's a lovely location down here, especially when it's sunny. Obviously, as you can see, there's lots of water sports going on. There's a climbing club over behind me that way, so lots you can do down here. But anyway, the water is possibly clearing a little bit, so I might be able to get a shot on there before all of those warming up get on the water, because I think they're probably going to get into those two boats there, look. But they're in my shot, I think, so there's going to be movement there for one of the long exposure. But I'm gonna see whether I can get one out in a minute. Once they've gone, the kayakers are nearly gone, so I just need the rowers to be gone there. So I'm gonna be ready and see if I can get another shot off. Hi, well, another building which I photographed for the calendar in Exeter is Reed Hall, which is this building behind me now. I think it used to be called Streatham Hall, and I think it's the oldest building on the university campus, as it's a building which is now part of Exeter University's campus. I will give some details of the building in a bit. I've just taken I've got my 10 stop on so I can have a longer exposure, although there isn't really movement in the clouds, I don't think, but I've taken it f11, which gave me about 15 second, I think, and I've just put it to f16, which is giving me a 30 second. So I'll see how they turn out. I might just do one with just polarizer on before I go. But yeah, Reed Hall. So really lovely old building, and they do functions and things like that there now. So see you in a bit. It used to be called Streatham Hall. It was built around 1867. It was built for Richard Thornton West, a millionaire merchant of the time, and it remained in the family until the early 1900s. During the First World War, it was used as one of the 7 temporary military hospitals in Exeter. In 1922, it was bought by Alderman Reed and gifted to Exeter College on the understanding that it would acquire university status. In 1925, it opened as a hall of residence. For my next location, I'm actually in the car park of the Mill on the X, which is a pub, which is beside the River X in Exeter, and I'm taking an image of the bridge that crosses the X here, which is Miller's Crossing Bridge, and I've just done f11, which was about approximately 15 seconds, I think, and f16 to make it longer, which I've gone for 25 seconds with my 10 stop on, obviously. So that's this location. Right, on to the next one. Okay, my next location, a bit noisier, more people about, is Stepcote Hill, which has got so much history for Exeter. A really ancient road into the city, which has been around for many hundreds of years. Great location, and really nice old buildings. Right, I'm now at probably the most loved and historic locations in Exeter, which contains two locations on the calendar. Unfortunately, the first one was ravaged by fire back in October 2016, so nearly a year ago now, which is the Royal Clarence Hotel. So as you can see, there's virtually nothing left of the building. The front has, well, a fair bit of the front has survived, but all the internals are completely gutted, and there are plans to rebuild it. So looking original as it could be from the outside, with possibly a more modern interior. So the image I've captured is pretty much impossible to get again, so obviously won't be taking another shot of the Royal Clarence Hotel this evening, because it's not there. Again, really historic building. Some say the oldest hotel in England. So lots and lots of history in the building. So I'll just put up my shot now. The final location that I'm going to speak about and show on the video is probably Exeter's most loved building, the amazing, wonderful cathedral we have here. Absolutely fantastic building. Again, obviously steeped in history, which I will give a little bit out in a bit. But as with any of the locations in this video, you can always Google them to get more information about them. So that's the cathedral in behind me, and as is the case on quite a few occasions with the cathedral, I'm not really going to be able to get an outside shot again this evening because there's works going on. Very old building, so quite often there's scaffolding up on the building and works going on. And what we've got here today is not really scaffolding on the front, but we've got works going on the ground in front of the cathedral there, so just behind me there. And I'll just walk up to the approximate location of where I got the shot, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Is probably about here, which you'll see in a minute when I put the shot up. And as you can see, obviously not worth getting another shot today with all the building works, all the fences there and the yellow hut. It would be absolutely pointless. but wonderful building. Most of the present cathedral was constructed between 1270 and 1342. However, the two towers date from an earlier Norman cathedral, which was demolished to make way for the present building. These towers date from the early 12th century. The cathedral was built in a style known as Decorated Gothic.